It's voting time in Canada, and there are Canadians everywhere who may not get the opportunity to go out and vote. Many can't leave their homes because the environment outside of their homes makes them ill. Others are homeless because their homes inside make them ill, and many cannot access suitable housing. According to Dr. Ann Steinman, among the population in the United States, 12.8% report medically diagnosed multiple chemical sensitivities, and 25.9% report chemical sensitivity. It is surmised the amount of people diagnosed with MCS in Canada matches that of the United States. MCS, or multiple chemical sensitivity in Canada, is an aspect of environmental sensitivities that also includes electromagnetic hypersensitivities and sick building syndrome.
I think the Canadian government needs to pay attention to MCS and environmental sensitivities because the fundamental rights of persons living with these conditions are not currently fully or equally recognized in this country. The Canadian Charter of Rights protects basic human rights to life, liberty, and physical and psychological safety. The healthcare system has been made inhospitable both psychologically and logistically.
Environmental illness is a devastating disability that the Canadian government needs to care about. Having environmental illness prevents you having access to healthcare which you require. I also have multiple sclerosis, and I am unable to get the treatment that I need at times when I have a relapse because I'm unable to go to hospital, unable to have care workers in the house, isolation as well from family and friends. And in my situation, the environmental illness triggers up my MS. And the government needs to have people being back in a community, contributing, and being able to be a mother again, a friend again.
I have chemical and electrical sensitivities. I'm unable to work. And I'm making this video. It's very difficult for me to make a video, but I'm doing it because I am concerned about the Canadian medical system. And I believe that we need to be recognized, and we need some medical help with this.
We must be included in the government's analysis of health inequalities. Planning for the infrastructure required to meet the needs of chemically and environmentally sensitive people through all stages and circumstances of life equal to what is available to the majority of the population is urgent. Policies must be implemented in hospitals across the country to protect rights of safety and to ensure adequate care. You need to fully recognize the rights of persons with MCS and environmental sensitivities to pave the way for a better future for all Canadians.
I am also concerned about 5G and the freedom of choice that 5G is taking away from everyone, but me in particular. I get quite ill from extended periods of Wi-Fi. I get a migraine with extreme fatigue and vertigo and nausea, as well as insomnia. This reaction lasts for 4 days. Of course, with 5G, it will last forever.
It's hard to talk about the truth. I always have a smile on my face and try to make things lighter, but in reality, each day, I don't know if I'm going to be able to physically move, if I will be paralyzed on my couch, if I'm going to be able to access food, or if I'm going to fall and lie there without anybody to help me. I can't call emergency services. because I can't go to a hospital. I can't have a care worker come into my home because I have not only multiple sclerosis, but I have MCS. And MCS affects my ability to think, my ability to function, and it triggers up my MS. So I have to face paralysis, falls, inability to access food on my own, and that is the frightening, devastating thing. Facing it all by yourself without being able to get care. The government needs to change that. Nobody should have to live their life in isolation. It's so taxing, and no one should have to live that way.
Hi, I'm Marie LeBlanc. Please help me in spreading awareness and let your politicians know that they need to do more to accommodate people with environmental disabilities. The Canadian health system is not adequately trained to help others like myself. There is no international classification of diseases code that acknowledge environmental sensitivities, and public housing doesn't accommodate those affected. Environmental sensitivity sufferers need to be helped and not ignored because they are too sick. If you are homebound, you may vote by mail or have someone come to the door and sign the ballot for you if you require assistance. Make your vote count. See you at the polls.